Welcome to Fashion Inspired Living in Conflict Regions. I'm so grateful that you all can be here, and I'm super excited to show you all the work I've done. So before we begin, I wanted to give you a little introduction into why I chose these two conflicts, why they're so important to me, and why I chose this as my personal project for grade 10. So I had three focuses going into this project. One of them was, what impact does fashion design have on expressing conflict? And often art is used in order to express what's current issues going on in the world. So I decided to take one that was really close to my heart and use fashion design to express it. So another key point for me was to raise awareness by doing this. And so I did this by taking steps towards conflict resolution and towards building peace, and you'll see how I did that. But the two regions I chose to focus in on were the Middle East and Southeast Asia, and I'm going to explain to you why I chose those two. So during the summer, you may know, you may not know, I went to a program called Seeds of Peace. Seeds of Peace is an organization which works on peace building and leadership, and so at this program, they bring UK, US delegates to Maine, along with students my age, teenagers, living in regions of conflict. So Palestine, Israel, Egypt, Jordan, Pakistan, and India. So all these different teenagers I was in the same room with them. We did dialogue, conflict resolution workshops, and I spent 3 weeks with these amazing people. And so this really inspired me to explain to you and to show you what they face on a day-to-day basis, or what their relatives face, or the people around them. So if you skip forward. Before we begin, I wanted to give you a little introduction. You may know about these conflicts, you may not know, but just to give you a little background. So the first one is the Middle East conflict, and now this is the Arab-Israeli conflict. Little history lesson here. It started in 1948 when Israel declared its independence, and during this time, the area that Israel became a state was actually occupied by Palestine, the Palestinian state. And when this happened, when Israel was given this land, essentially, the Palestinians, it caused an uproar among the Palestinians, and a war began, and conflict arose in this region. Now this conflict has been going on still today, many, many years, and so it's really important for me to raise awareness about what's going on. And so for the four main issues revolving this conflict, the four main reasons it can't be solved, I'm going to explain those to you. So the first would be security. So Palestine, if you see on this map, if you can see, so often the borders cause a problem because there's not a lot of security in the region, especially for Israel. There have been airstrikes, there have been missiles going into Israel, and they don't feel very protected living on that land if the Palestinian state was to become a Palestinian state, essentially. So one of the main issues is security. The second issue is borders, and obviously the land. So often conflicts start because of land. And so with this land, over time, the Palestinian state has decreased. And so their land now is almost 1/4 what it was. And so at this time, it's actually split into two sections. The Gaza Strip, which is now run by a terrorist organization, according to the United Nations, called Hamas. And the other part is called the West Bank, and this is run by the PLO, the Palestinian PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization. So these are the two sections, and it's hard for the Palestinian state and the Israelis to come to agreement with who should have this land, who should live on this land, which country should control it. And so that's another key issue. And then moving to the third one, it would be refugees. So after 1948, approximately 700,000 Palestinians became refugees, and they migrated to other parts outside of the Middle East. Not all of them stayed in Palestine. There's about 40% of them at this moment living in Jordan, and now the refugees, Palestinian refugees, the number has risen to 5 million, and that's only the ones that are actually recorded. So there's many, many more. And so this has been another main issue about this conflict and why it can't be resolved. So lastly, you'll be hearing from two of my friends who actually live in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is another main issue that they can't agree on. Because Jerusalem is the self-declared capital of Israel, and it's the future Palestinian capital. And so because of this, both sides cannot agree on who will have control over Jerusalem. There's religious buildings and monuments within Jerusalem that are very important to either side, and so they've come through a lot of conflict about this city in particular. So now that I've given you a little bit of information about the Middle East and some of the key concepts that you probably need to know with the videos I'm going to show you of my friends speaking, I wanted to also tell you a little bit about Southeast Asia and the Kashmir and Jammu conflict. So this is the second conflict I chose to represent in my catwalk. So the Kashmir and Jammu is a land, essentially, located north of India and northeast of Pakistan. If you can see it, I don't know if you guys can all see that, but it's all the way at the top of my map. And so this land is a disputed territory. It's been in dispute for 42 years now. It actually has a similar date to the Middle East conflict, 1947, when the Indian partition happened and Pakistan and India formed two states, their own nations. It caused a conflict in this region. Now, why in this region? It was because there was a prince who was ruling the land. He was the leader, and he was a Hindu, and he supported India. And there was also a majority of Muslims living in this land. Now, the problem that this caused was that a lot of the people wanted to be a part of Pakistan, and then the ruler didn't know what to do, so he decided to declare the state independent. And that didn't end up working, and so in the end, he decided to give the land to India. But Pakistan was not very happy about this. So in the end, this land is still in dispute. We don't hear about it in our news, very odd. There's been 70,000 people that have died, 8,000 missing. It's a terrible conflict. It's been going on for a really long time, and so my friends, they live. This conflict's a little different because my friends don't live inside Kashmir, but they do live in the countries that have been fighting over this area of land for a long, long time. So now the show's gonna start. So my friends and teenagers just like me are gonna be speaking about their experiences, the struggles that they face, their cultures, their perspectives, their beliefs, and what it's like essentially to live in a conflict region. So basically, to end, I am actually wearing another one I made. It's the 7th piece, but there is a special reason I'm wearing this one. This one represents unity. And so if you can notice, I've used a piece of each of these fabrics in my own outfit. And to show the importance of unity and how important it is that we're all one, and the need for peace and the need for conflict resolution. And I hope to share this with you and that you would understand how important it is to me that we hear about what's going on maybe not over the news, but from personal videos. And so just to conclude, I'm going to show you each of the different pieces. So we have Carly, if you wave. So Carly's Palestine. If you see, I got that on my knee here. And then Mia, do you want to wave? She's got this gold band, and I have that right at the back here. And then Nona, white, and I'm wearing the white t-shirt. And then Christy, the sleeves, the sleeves. And then Lola, and I have Jordan, and I have the silver band going down. Have we missed anyone? Oh, Noemi, the headband, the ending. I had to put the headband that like is on the pants. So I just wanted to show you, that's really why I did this, to show how we are all one. These actually, at the end of Seeds, they were all hugging, and you'd be surprised, the Palestinian and the Israeli hugging at the end. And really what I took away from it is just this importance of getting the word out and raising awareness. So thank you so much for coming. I'm going to say a few thank yous. So I want to give, I'm going to get the flowers.